Speak from the sort of the conversations with artists that I've had for a long time around this are, a lot of them will say things like, and it's the argument of, I don't want my song used in a Donald Trump rally. I guess they're just presidential rallies now, weird. But so they'll state that this is a fact. Where do they write that down? Where can a creator say, this is what I want? There is no place to do that. Because there's no place of permanence today in which you could do it. It would have to be in someone's database. So if you were to say to your publisher, hey, listen, write down on a piece of paper somewhere that this song is not to be used in this place. And then anyone in this room takes that song, goes Apple I, puts it into a list, remixes it, and pushes it out in Donald Trump rally. That just happens. And so one of the things I think is fascinating is, and what I've been working towards is, if you can create a digitally permanent layer in which an artist can, A, prove who they are as a user, B, authenticate other players to the song, and then C, enshrine within the DNA of the song itself certain rule sets, then what you can do is you can enforce them, because you can create a digitally smart song, if you will. And the way to view it is today, if I take my song to an aggregator takes it to iTunes, and that rate is set out there. But if I write a smart song, and I encode within that song, that file itself, and instead of saying, here's the song, now distribute it, what I do is I say, here, you have permission to access the music at the rules written down within the song, and this is the blockchain that authenticates that I am who I say I am, and these are the parties to it. Then what you can do is it's up to the platform to decide, yes, I'd like to have that at that rate, no, I wouldn't. So what will happen is you'll give certain creators the ability to write not just the works themselves, but how they wish their outcomes to be there. In the early days, that was called DRM, digital rights management. Bad word to bring up when you're talking about in the music industry. What I refer to as is digital rights expression, which is that if you as a creator can write down what you would like to happen, it's not legally binding today, right? But as George points out, if there are laws and if there is machine-readable code that could execute outcomes on a public permission blockchain, on a public blockchain, then what you have is a state where you go, okay, this is the genetic proof of the song, this is where that song resides, and this is how it gives its ability to work with partners, creating that interoperability layer. And so I think what will happen is the laws can then all of a sudden gravitate to it, but you know, I get an ASCAP statement once a quarter, and it just says use.
Yeah. Well, that's
what does that mean?
Modeling, so.